issue of the Parliament's issue. I'll come. You are in Parliament, so we'll start with you, and you are familiar with sports administration as well, having been a former Deputy Minister of Sports. Now, the government has set up a commission of inquiry. Yes. It had come to Parliament earlier to inform you that it was setting up a committee through the ministry. Yes. Now it is the President that is setting it up by the power of a CI, constitutional instrument. And there was this fight about it in the House. What was it for?
Well, if you go back, arising out of our performance in Brazil, the President said that he thought the FA should rather look into what went on. That's the first thing I heard. Then later on, we heard the minister had set up a 3-man committee. And the minister even came to Parliament on 9th July to explain why he had set up the committee. The ranking member of sports had indicated that he wanted to move a motion and had even tabled the motion. Azikesiama. Then the Speaker had scheduled a meeting for Monday, which we usually don't go to Parliament. So on 11th, we got to know on Monday morning that on 11th July, the President had turned the committee into a commission of inquiry.
Monday, you were going to move the motion for Parliament's own committee.
To have a Parliament's own committee, a special ad hoc committee to look into.
And that was going to be in addition to the ministerial committee.
Yeah, in addition, because the minister could set up his own administrative committee, and then he brought the terms of reference. But the member had moved or had tabled that motion that indeed he wanted a parliamentary committee to go into the whole episode in Brazil. So, as far as the Speaker was concerned, he was not aware of any commission of inquiry. The minister had said that he had set up that administrative committee. So, Monday morning when we got to Parliament, we saw in our pigeonholes CI 82 saying that the President had set up a commission of inquiry. And if you look at the terms, they were exactly the terms that the minister had used in setting up his committee. And then when the Speaker was ready for the ranking member Siama to move his motion, Honorable Mahama Yariga got up to say that because a commission of inquiry had been set up, the member had not come through the right process for the motion to be moved. And we thought he was dead wrong. He was dwelling on Article 278 to say that a commission of inquiry can be set up by the President either on his own volition, on the advice of Council of State, or through a resolution by Parliament. And that if a CMA is not coming through a resolution by Parliament, or if that motion is not being moved through a resolution by Parliament, then he should not be heard, or he's wrong. But we kept on telling him that if you look at Article 103, Parliament has every right to set up a special committee, and that committee will have the powers of a High Court.
What you're saying is that he quoted the Constitution rightly.
He only took one aspect of the Constitution, that commission of inquiry can only be set up through this. So if Parliament cannot also set up its own committee, which wasn't the right thing. And the Speaker drew his attention to it. The Majority Leader concurred. Other members of the House also said that as far as the Speaker was very emphatic.
So that's the only problem you had with him, to suggest that if Parliament wanted a commission, it should come through the President.
That was one aspect of it. The other aspect of it was that more or less Parliament had been ambushed because the minister had set up his committee. And then when the minister saw that Parliament was also going to move a motion to have its own committee, Monday morning he comes with a CI and said the President has set up a commission of inquiry. So that was also an issue. But if you look at it, obviously, the commission of inquiry, parliamentary committee, they all have the status of a High Court. And the average person will say that, am I appearing before two separate committees with the same status, etc., etc. But for the minister to argue that Parliament did not have the right to set up that committee, one, he was dead wrong. Two, the Speaker made it clear that
the Speaker was angry. Other members, yes. Papa Osankoma, you heard him, and also
the other aspect, which the Speaker
very angry.
Another aspect which the Speaker is quoted here was that we're trying to find a consensus on this matter. That is why he even delayed the moving of the motion. And by Friday, it had been agreed. Indeed, the chairman of the committee, the Sports and Culture Committee, had made tabled an amendment to a chairman's motion, which he was also supposed to move. But come Monday, because of the Commission of Inquiry, the Speaker obviously was not aware of it, because probably if he was aware, then...
But was it also not in bad faith that you knew that the ministerial committee had already been put into action?
They don't have the same powers.
Put into action, no, had been put into action, and yet you were setting up another committee in Parliament to do the same job that it was going to do?
No. I mean, the minister had his terms of reference, and mostly they were to look into the administration of the FA and how they manage the blasters, etc. We, in our terms, we had not, one, agreed on any terms of reference. Two, if you listen to another CMS motion, he had listed issues that was to deal with the executive. It wasn't mainly about the blasters management and the technical operation and administrative matters, etc., etc. His was to talk about inquiring into how the whole planning and administration of our trip was concerned as far as the executive came in.
Will the commission take care of that as presently constituted?
If the commission feels that these terms of reference should be expanded, you can apply to the commission.
I'm saying that with the present terms that they have,
no, I
cannot take care of what you wanted to do?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's why I'm saying that if they want to extend, we cannot read the terms of reference here. Because there's the omnibus provision that to inquire into all matters of public interest concerning the organization of Ghana's blaster participation in the tournament. Exactly. But that does not preclude Parliament to set up its committee. And Parliament did not know this until that morning when the motion was being moved. So how was Parliament to preempt the President? Parliament could not have preempted the President. The Minister has set up his administrative committee. We wanted a higher body, which was the parliamentary committee, with the powers of High Court.
Now, the FIFA has written to the GFA and seeking to know the components of this commission, because there could be a likelihood of breaching FIFA's is it Articles 9 and 11 for the GFA to be able to operate independently, and secondly, to avoid third-party interferences in the GFA's work.
Yes. I mean, Ghana is not on an island. It happened to France. France, after 2010 World Cup, the president himself complained, the Minister for Sports complained, Parliament even invited the coach and the minister to determine what had happened in France. And mind you, it was almost like what happened to Ghana in Brazil. Anelka was thrown out of camp because he had insulted the coach. But FIFA came in and said, you should be careful. If you cross the line, we'll impose a ban on you. Okay. It's not, I mean, it's happened to Spain.
I'll return to you briefly on the aspect of FIFA, and some people saying that the FA and all others are just seeking to, threaten everybody because they don't want to be investigated, and they are quick to run to say FIFA is coming on you, so be careful, so that they are not touched.
No, I could explain that. In 2005, I led a delegation to FIFA because FIFA had threatened to ban us. At the end of the day, we managed to negotiated autonomy, in the sense that FIFA agreed that we should have a public interest committee on the FA, where the government could also have people there to have a say. FIFA is just like the IOC.
The public interest committee, is it there?
No, it's not for me to say. It's for those who are running the ministry and the GFA. It's not for me to say whether they are managing it or it's functioning.
Do you know that it is there? It is not, is it not?
Very well. But what I'm saying is that we went to FIFA. All the FA statutes, they had sent a draft to FIFA. FIFA had agreed with all the terms because it conformed with the FIFA statutes and regulations, just like the IOC. Mind you, in 2011, Ghana was banned by the IOC for almost how many months? 18 months.
Dr. Manipoma, there are those who say that seeking to elevate the committee to a commission is with a sinister purpose. And this is what it is, that with a committee, you can use its byproducts to prosecute people in court. But with the commission, they are free. Nothing will happen to them. So you're seeking to protect or shelve people who might be indicted through the process.
Something, they are very fertile minds. I mean, in every situation that you look at. I'm quite intrigued that today, Right Honorable Speaker Duajahu is a hero to the minority in Parliament.
Oh.
I'm quite intrigued.
How does it become a hero?
Again, you may want to embark on this exercise. Please send a questionnaire, half page, to all honorable members on the minority side that they should indicate their additions to the terms of reference that the Commission of Inquiry is going to look at. And after that, just conduct an exercise. Try and situate all that they will be writing to you within the terms of reference that we have for this Commission of Inquiry, whether their concerns cannot be addressed by this Commission of Inquiry.
I can answer
After
you.
that exercise,
I can answer you here.
I'm sure you will come to no other conclusion that perhaps we are maybe spending time on a matter that will eventually be addressed comprehensively. Let me state that the notion that a bipartisan committee in Parliament would be neutral is also erroneous, because this is not electrostatic, where if you put two positives and two negatives together, you arrive at a zero charge. That is not it. And so, on any day, if I really want a situation where at the end of it, whoever appears and comes out of this inquiry will feel that it's been dealt with in a way that the person will feel that, look, all other concerns have been taken care of. I do not have any problem with this commission that has been constituted. Let me, however, caution that if there is any individual who feels that the membership of the commission, he has a reason why any of them or all of them must recuse themselves, the people are invited to submit those contributions for us to ensure that any of them or all of them move away and a new team be put in place for this investigation.
I'm sure nobody has suggested.
Exactly.
Somebody has suggested that the Justice Senior Jamefi of the Court of Appeal, who is going to chair it, they have a problem with it, or Mrs. Money, you have a problem, or Kofi Anokye, so that you have a problem with him.
So where is the malady? Where is the malady? Again, let me indicate that this issue about FIFA has written. Perhaps we should take a critical look at what FIFA has written to the GFA. I don't think it is as grave as maybe is being pushed out there to be. And let me draw your attention to something. The terms of reference of the committee.
The commission.
No, of the committee. Check whether it is not the same as the terms of reference of the commission.
Yeah, the same.
It is the same. Good. Let me now graduate. In graduating, go and analyze earlier comments made by senior persons within the Ghana Football Association. They
had said that they will submit themselves to the committee.
But
subsequent to that, they have complained about it.
Please. I'm graduating what I'm saying.
Do it quickly.
If they embrace the terms of reference of the committee and the terms of reference of the commission are the same, what malady are we also to expect?
The commission, the commission can subpoena them. The committee cannot subpoena them.
It's a rhetorical question. I'm moving on. Is it that people felt that, oh, we will embrace it if it is committee, because for a committee, I can decide not to attend it, and the findings may not have the same kind of implications as that of a commission. If that is the case, is it the kind of state that we will want to build? Okay? Again, I would expect that the FA should respond to the to FIFA. Now look, the terms of reference of the committee are the same as the terms of reference of the commission. We had already embraced these terms of reference. We think that once the terms of reference have not changed, we have no cause.
But you should not be ignoring the legal implications of the two.
Please.
Okay. Sorry.
Thank God,
I have to move on.
No. Unless Honorable Obiamwa is implicitly supporting that, look, it is just because the powers of a committee are not the same, and everybody appreciates that, except that the two start with C. The powers of the committee is not the same as that of a commission. And so people could have hidden under the weaker powers of a committee. And that is how come these things have been that I do not believe that is the case.
Yes.
A commission has higher powers And I'm sure with the kind of indication that we felt in this country, everybody must be interested in this. And the same way as you are saying, the parliamentary committee, that also will have the powers of a high court. So really, whether a commission or a committee, we are not looking at different powers here. I'm saying that for the terms of reference,
thank you very much.
These terms of reference.
Now, Kwaku, I don't know. I think it's the Crusading Guide, New Crusading Guide, that was first to publish the letter from the FIFA. Looking at that letter and putting it against the matters that have come up, how do you look at the issue?
Well, the letter, in my candid opinion, at this stage is just exploratory. They are seeking information. So it's not really a big deal, but it only shows that FIFA is alert and watching the trend. And what is interesting is to find out what the GFA will send to them too. Then we can be moving beyond that, you know. But I think there are some things that happened some time ago.
You expect that the GFA will not write to FIFA and tell them of the legal implications of submitting themselves to a commission?
I anticipate they will do that. They have to be truthful, they have to be faithful, and they've already... Yes, so they have to.
And by your understanding, if they do so, will FIFA not be concerned that we are getting into its territory?
First of all, I think that I've heard the GFA indicate that they've even handed over the invitation or the commission presidential team to their legal team for advice. They've also publicly hinted that they are a bit uncomfortable with the presidential commission thing, in contradiction to what they had earlier said relative to the committee of inquiry. So we have a fair idea of where GFA is drifting to relative to the presidential commission thing. I won't be surprised if those indicators are found in the letter to FIFA. Now, FIFA, remember, much earlier, when the UOCO, if you remember, problems with GFA came up, it issued a letter of a sort to the Ministry of Youth and Sports and UOCO and the rest, indicating that FIFA has no problem with government investigating public funds that are given to GFA for any purpose. But there is a no-go area on FIFA funds given to GFA, CAF funds given to GFA, or corporate sponsors funds given to GFA. So there's a clear line. Now, my problem, to be honest with you, is the presidential terms of reference, that the commission's terms of reference, are the first two. I don't know how they will go about it. They would have to walk a tightrope. Because you see, if you read the two carefully, the preparation of the Ghana Black Stars team for the tournament and possible lapses which might have caused the early exit of the team from the tournament, these are like football specific, technical areas. So it depends on, that's why I say depends on how you go about it in course of the proceedings. Then two, the management of the Black Stars team and events in their camp during the tournament. And Ghana's treatment, the rest are okay. Ghana's treatment of the football fans who were sent to support the Black Stars by the Ministry of Youth and Sports to advise on government on financing of activities of the senior national team and all. Those national teams, they belong to the state. And of course, 3 million at $4.something million that was sent, the circumstances, all those things are clear cut. I have no problem with the presidential commission of inquiry looking into those things. They got to be very careful how they go about this too. Now, with the parliamentary thing, I was disappointed that Parliament did not arrive at a consensus. Of course, it's not the first time.
The minority won.
The majority.
The majority in a minority voice.
Yeah, you see, I know we have precedents. You see,
what kind of philosophy are you espousing?
See, we have precedents where there was no consensus. The Abacha 5 million motion moved by Hackman was hacked down by the majority. The Nitu's merchant bank thing was thrown out by the majority. Gizayazi never went to Parliament. But the VRE one was brought up, what was a consensus in 2004. After debate, there was an amendment by a minority person. After a while, they all came to the conclusion and set up a special committee to investigate VRE from 1982 to 2003. I was thinking that spirit would have informed them to deal with the parliamentary inquiry, because instinctively, in fact, that's where my instincts lied. I really wanted the parliamentary thing. It's so disappointing that that didn't happen. So the presidential commission thing, they are definitely going to walk a tightrope. They are not careful.
It's not that tight.
It is tight. These two areas.
What do you say to what Omani suggests? What do you say to what Omani suggests that? What is it about this? GFA says we will submit to a committee. The same terms are, elevated to a commission.
There are two reasons.
And he says we think there's a problem with it. We don't
First
want
of
to
all, I think the GFA is a bit rushed in responding to the committee one. It rushed. It was premature. I think with the benefit of hindsight, they may see that point I'm making. Then two, with the presidential, we all agree here that the powers are different, the implications too are different. Look, if you refuse to appear or to produce some documents, you are subpoenaed. You reject that, you are
in contempt.
You are in contempt and can be referred to a court for appropriate actions to be taken.
Correct.
Now, there, if you are not careful, you may be arresting and prosecuting football officials. Under the law, all right, but FIFA may not see eye to eye with you. You see what has happened in Nigeria? Right. Yes, they've backtracked.
More so because the FA would even need to seek advice from FIFA. Because FIFA wants arbitration to be at the court of arbitration of sports.
Yes.
They don't want their people to be before
so these are the
said commissions that will lead to court of appeal.
Yes, these are the implications. But I think the GFA should have taken its time. It didn't need to rush to say embrace everything just at the word go. I know it's accountability matter. You don't want people to think you are afraid or you are hiding something. It's a very human.
I don't know what you have to say about this, all of this.
Seriously, I think a lot has been said about this, but I'm more interested in what Honorable Obi Amwa just talked about, that Parliament was ambushed. I think Parliament was not ambushed. At all. I mean,
that you don't agree with the Speaker?
The Speaker was ambushed.
I think it's separation of powers at work. The fact that the President... I don't see that.
The point somebody made was that so anytime Parliament wants to set up a committee, the President can set up a commission and say that that is the end of the matter.
I think that is where we always got it wrong.
No, but why? Are you not... Don't you have the powers to ignore what the President has done and go ahead with what you want to do?
No, but the point is, there was that indication. It will be double. Yes, there was that even...
But Parliament itself did not agree to set up the parliamentary committee. Is that not the case? So why are you blaming...
Yes.
It was a stampede. It was a stampede.
Yes. So that is all what I have to say.
From the executive. The majority in Parliament, they took a cue from the executive. Obviously.
And that's very mild.
Okay, let's say I'm okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take a quick break here. When we return, we go to the Flagstaff House. We go to the ministries and find out if there's any inspiration in what has happened with regards to the reshuffle. You may have seen some of the papers report that the president may have done a big reshuffle but fails to inspire any hope in the process. We'll be right back.